Logical evening, everyone. Great. So, we all set with practice match 14 of Vidhigya Premier League legal reasoning section. Everybody, very great, good, logical evening. Now, since we understand that time is a paucity, we'll go ahead. We'll try to understand what was the trick of the trade required to ace these questions. Today's leaderboard has been different. Students have been doing good. Kudos to you for good work. We'll make sure that you get a tougher stuff tomorrow. I have been telling this. What type of questions were there in today's VPL? Today's VPL, we had questions on SEBI regulations, which was contemporary legal development. Then we had on contempt of court. Now, when I talk about contempt of court, that is one thing that is essential for every law aspirant to know. Third one was about freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28, the crux of it. Then it was FCRA rules being applicable on NGO, that was contemporary legal development. And finally, that was minors agreement with reference to law of contract. So that precisely was the list of topics that we had today. Logical evening, everybody. I think that's good time to go into the questions. It's good time to nail the questions at hand and understand and go ahead. So without investing any further time, शुरू करते हैं. The first passage that we have today is about SEBI. Students have been telling me that when the law which is related to economic offenses, law which is related to SEBI guidelines, when we come across such laws and when we try to interpret, it takes toll on us. So therefore, some passages to ensure that the variety is more and different, we included this one. Having that point clear, when I talk about this passage was squarely talking about the new regulations of 2021. This passage was comparing the difference between the old applicable regime and the new applicable regime. Then, what are the important changes? And finally, they're talking about what is sweat equity and the prescribed limit of sweat equity. So, this was all the nature of passage that we had. I think without investing any time, we should go ahead with questions. Question number 1, if I can have prompt answers, we'll be good to go. Question 1, if we can be a bit faster, we go better. Question 1. Ansh, Sanskar, Anaya, Tanishk, Himanshi and Adarsh. They are first 5 people to answer me. The answers are going unanimous. The answer shows B, Bombay. Let us understand the crux of the question and then we try and understand the reasoning. B, Bombay is the correct answer. Vidhan has been recently appointed as manager in so-and-so company. His tenure starts in 2021. The question is, he'll be governed as per the new guidelines. And as per the new guidelines, there's no requirement of a person being permanent, which is why a simple answer to the question is B, Bombay, without an iota of doubt. Going to question number 2. Question number 2. Here, a person was working for this tenure till 2018, and 18 was the time when this regulation was not out. The kids who are answering are Anaya, Anurag, Ansh, Riddhi, Diya, Tanishk. And we have received all A, B, C as replies. We have seen A, we've got B, we've got C, we got all of it. So when we talk about this particular question, that is number 2, please understand. All well. All well. The question is, Vidhan was an employee between 2007 to 18. He was provided with regular increments. After being relieved in 2018, he realized that he has not received consideration through sweat equity. Vidhan filed a suit against company for wrongful termination and again, क्या उसको ये consideration मिलेगा? That's the question at hand. Answer is simply A. Agra. He will get. The question is why will he get? He'll get because he's working for past 15 years. And what was the requirement? Permanent employee. Idea is very simple. Before these regulations, only permanent employees could have been given sweat equity shares. After this regime, anyone who's not even permanent can be given. So the difference was permanent, non-permanent, and this is from the facts. We can draw this inference, right, of sweat equity. Wrong. A. Agra is the right answer. Going ahead, the questions where you go wrong, I try to ensure that we clarify the reasoning. Question number 3 at hand. फटाफट चलते हैं. अंश, अनाया, ध्वनित, कौशिकी, आदर्श, कृतिका, रिया, तनिष्क, महिमा. ये बच्चे आंसर कर रहे हैं. All are saying C. There's a unanimity with C. Nobody's having any doubt. Was the question? Even as Vidhan has been employed for past 10 years in so and so company, he does not receive any excesses, whereas similarly placed colleagues have handsome 20. Choose the correct option. सीधी सी बात है 2022 की बात हो रही है. वाइंडिंग अप प्रोसेस होगा. दैट मींस आफ्टर रेगुलेशन. और जब हम आफ्टर रेगुलेशंस की बात करें तो परमानेंट होना जरूरी नहीं है. सो पर्सन हु इज नॉट इवन परमानेंट कैन गेट, you know, this is very much in the passage that you have to underline and understand. अर्लियर रेगुलेशन क्या था और अभी का रेगुलेशन क्या है. दैट्स द डिफरेंस वेयर ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस you are getting. All right. So shown you the passage, the relevant part of passage that you should have known. Therefore, without an iota of doubt, C. Calcutta is the right answer. Everyone is C, so I'm not explaining more. Let's go to question number 4. Vidhi and Vidhan are two employees working at a multinational company in so and so place. They're discussing about the SEBI regulations. The question is, what is true about it? This you need to know. Question number 4. Question number 4, when we talk about Kaushiki, Adarsh, Riddhi, Anurag, Himanshi, Ansh, Riya, Abhishek, Dhwanit are the people answering me. A lot of them saying Calcutta, a lot of them saying Agra, and the numbers are equal. Please understand what is Vidhi saying. Vidhi believes that sweat equity options will allow employees greater productivity. ऐसा पैसेज में दिया हुआ है. Vidhan says that SEBI regulations are meant for the benefit of the corporation. They both are right. Actually, mutually it's done. So answer is A, Agra. Now the question is, where from the passage you can infer? Will enable employees to have greater ownership and responsibility towards organization, which will in turn fuel the. This was to be interpreted. Therefore, A, Agra is correct. C, Calcutta is wrong. Going to question number 5. If we can be faster, we go better. Question number 5. Vidhi supports SEBI regulations. Which argument supports that? So we have Anaya Muchal, Ansh Jain, Anurag Parihar, Himanshi, Kaushiki, Tanish Singhania, Riya Chopra, Sanskar Patidar, Adarsh Sahu answering that. Everybody saying D Delhi. So everyone wants to go Delhi. So how can I stop you? Simple answer is yes, D Delhi. This argument supports Vidhi's stance. Okay? Great. Since everybody is clear about the reasoning, so I don't find a point going beyond and explaining, right? Question number 6 at your hand. If you can be faster, we go better. Question number 6. खुशी बेटा क्वेश्चन नंबर लिखा करो. क्या है? मोक्ष आप भी. How do I know which question you are answering? Question number 6, if you can be faster. Anurag, Anaya, Riddhi, Adarsh, Yogendra, Sanskar, Mahima, Kritika, Parul, Kratika, Himanshi, Riya, Riyaz, right? Both Riyaz have answered it. Now, looking at question number 6. Everybody saying C, a few of you saying D. So again, let's understand. D means all the above. This was introduced to ease the functioning of companies in India. Answer is no. It overlaps with other regulations of the country and create and cause confusion. No. So when A and B are wrong, D can never be the answer. Is most likely to be welcomed by employees. True. Answer is C, Calcutta. People marking D are blatantly incorrect because statement A and B are wrong. Going to passage 2 quickly. Passage 1 has been a cakewalk for you. Let's see passage 2. If you go faster, we go better. Passage 2, again, passage 2 is a very interesting passage. It talks about contempt of court. When I talk about contempt of court, basically in this passage, it is being argued that every person is having freedom of speech and expression. Before I go into the passage, let me explain you Article 19(1)(a). It is available to citizens, and Article 19(1) says that every person has a freedom of speech and expression. But the question that we come across is this freedom unrestricted? Is this freedom absolute? The question at hand is freedom of speech and expression, क्या इसके ऊपर कोई limitation place हो सकती है? And the answer is yes. Without going into the passage, let me tell you one thing that every law aspirant should know. Article 19(1)(a) provides freedom of speech and expression. Right? Article 19 clause 2 provides reasonable restrictions. वो ग्राउंड्स जिन पे इस फ्रीडम को रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया जा सकता है. ठीक बात. तो उसमें कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट एक ग्राउंड है, डिफेमेशन एक ग्राउंड है. आपको जो मर्जी आप बोलें, बट दैट शुड नॉट हिट सॉवरेनिटी ऑफ कंट्री, दैट शुड नॉट अफेक्ट पब्लिक ऑर्डर, दैट शुड नॉट अफेक्ट, दैट शुड नॉट कॉज डिफेमेशन और कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट. ऐसी जगहों पर आपकी फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन restrict कर दी जा सकती है. Now, the question that we have, the passage that we have is talking about the historical perspective. ये contempt of court कैसे develop हुआ? Contempt of court as a law is trying to protect the judicial integrity. Vis-a-vis, it is against the freedom of speech and expression. How to balance these conflicting interests. That is the passage. Then, going ahead, this passage is talking about few case laws where Supreme Court has come up with certain laws. Going ahead, the passage clarifies that there are two kinds of contempt. One is civil contempt of court, B, criminal contempt of court. If I go on explaining, the answers are automatically given and there's no point we go into the questions as well. So without wasting any time, I think it's good time to go to the questions. Question number 7, here we go. So the screen visible to me, I'll pick it up from Priyanvi Singhai. Question number 7, she says Agra. So most of the other children, Riddhi Nair says Agra. Most of the other students also saying Agra. Let's see the question. There's a child who's a budding advocate and वगैरह वगैरह. ये ऐसा क्वेश्चन में है कि एक एडवोकेट ने कोर्ट में ये डायलॉग मार दिया सनी देओल की मूवी का. As you would have seen Bollywood and you would have seen the courts, trust me, they're worlds apart. So this can happen only in movies. In courts, it amounts to something that is called contempt of court. The question is, the advocate comes up and says that, you know, we are not getting justice, we are only getting dates. So is it contempt of court? Yes, it is an interference with the judicial proceedings. It amounts to criminal contempt. ठीक है? Answer is A, Agra, which is perfectly right. No, नहीं हो सकता, नहीं हो सकता, नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है? Let's go to question. Everybody is clear with the reasoning, so I'm not going digging that deep. Let's go to question number 8. Punishment for contempt affects some important rights. Identify which one of them have been spoken in the passage. फटाफट बताइए. Question number 8, everybody say C. Wonderful. Simple question लग रहा है. Here I had a lesson for you today, and you know, for this question, you know, you should fall in love with the question. I'll explain. Everybody has simply marked C Calcutta, which is seemingly a right answer and actually wrong. Question number 8, the answer is Agra. This is not, and hence this is not. And the biggest question that you might be having कि फिर कैसे, ये तो है ही. मैं इस क्वेश्चन को आपको बताऊं इससे पहले आप सबसे बोल देता हूं कि 18 sessions on Constitution of India are uploaded on your portal, है ना. प्लीज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को डिस्काउंट ना करिए. बहुत सारे पैसेजेस समझ में आने लगते हैं जब आपको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गारंटीज के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन हो. Please see those passages and think of your time. Don't discount that. And here I'm telling you something apart from this passage for your own understanding. When you talk about these fundamental rights, there can be n number of ways. Diksha Gurjar, in life, patience is the key to learning. Have patience, learn better. All right. Now, fundamental rights can be classified many ways, but there's one way, that is fundamental rights which are available to persons and fundamental rights which are available to citizens only. When I talk about persons, it includes both citizen and non-citizen. When I talk about citizen only, it does not include. It's a very tricky area. You can get questions on this in CLAT. It doesn't include non-citizens. I'll give you an example before we go. You talk about Article 19(1). Freedoms है ना जिसमें A, B, C, D, E, then G. 19(1)A to G. All these fundamental rights are exclusive to citizens only. To the contrary, talk about Article 21, right to life. कैसे लिखा है? No person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except in accordance with procedure established by law. So, this is available to citizen and non-citizen. मैं आपको बता रहा हूं यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन फ्रेमिंग की एक ट्रिक सारे स्टूडेंट्स को पता होना चाहिए. When I talk about citizens only, right? Just learn it. When I talk about citizens only, what you need to know. If the question says a person is an Australian, is an American, is a Canadian person, these freedoms are not meant for them. Our constitution is not guaranteeing them. But this Canadian, this Australian, this American person has right to life in India as a fundamental right. All right. So what we need to understand was here, when we talk about the jurisdiction to punish for the contempt touches upon two important fundamental rights available to citizens, namely the right to personal liberty and right to freedom. You need to know what is written to you in the passage. The passage writes that these are available to citizens only. Now let's read what is given here. Every person's right to personal liberty. ऐसा नहीं लिखा है. Every citizen's right to personal liberty. सही है. Every person's right to freedom of expression. गलत है. Person के लिए नहीं. Only citizen के लिए. ठीक है? चलो. Great going. बढ़िया. You got tricked with the question? Great. Simple it was. But I've told you the trick of the trade. Anytime when you read available to person, available to citizen, stop, bang on, see to it, understand well, and go on. Wonderful. Let's go to question number 9. This is a fact-based direct question. As per the Sanyal committee, it was essential to pay heed to freedom of speech and expression, but at the same time, what? Anaya, Riya, Tanesh, Sanskar, Abhishek, Manvi, Mahima, Vishnu, Priya, Sanskar, Ansh, Kaushiki answering it. Everybody is very comfortable saying A and B, both are correct. We go to question number 9. Of course, A and B, these both statements are correct. Answer is C, Calcutta. So with C, Calcutta clear, let's go to question number 10. There is a guy, his beautiful name is Sunny Deol. है ना? So when I talk about the Sunny Deol, He was standing in the proceedings of the court, so on and so forth. So answer me, what can judge do to him? आके खड़ा हो गया. Which kind of contempt it is? For this person, Sunny, they all अनाया, अभिषेक, दिया, रिद्धि, विष्णुप्रिया, संस्कार, कौशिकी, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ही इज इनोसेंट. मानवी बोल रही है कि हाँ वो गलत है. The idea is, let's see the question. He is standing in the open court. Open court means a court which is open for all. Huh? Any person can come. There's no restriction. Listening to the court's proceedings, he is only listening. He is not doing anything which is, illegal. Having no personal interest in the court, the judge is irritated by his presence. Initiates a contempt case against him. Civil contempt क्या होता है? You disobey the court. Criminal contempt क्या होता है? You disrespect the court. This person, Mr. Sunny, had he done anything? Answers no. So what would the right answer be? Of course, Delhi, this would not amount to contempt, right? Good. Come on, Sanat. Bad one to miss. Question number 10 का Bombay नहीं होगा बेटा. Please read this. I mean, it's too remote to have this answer. Bombay for this question. Always understand that civil contempt of court means what? Civil contempt means you disobey the order of court. There were certain Supreme Court guidelines that you disobeyed. So it is civil contempt. What is criminal contempt? You disrespect the court or obstruct the proceedings of the court. Nothing has happened. There is an open court. He is standing and listening a matter to which he has all rights. Has he done anything which is mentioned in the passage as, which falls in the category of criminal or civil contempt? Answers no. Answers gone. Bad one to miss. Chalo. ये question miss नहीं होना चाहिए था, so I stopped a bit. Let's go to question number 11. A not so uncommon feeling about contempt of court law in India was, it is again fact-based DQ. Question number 11, everybody is 2 tilted towards A, Agra as the answer, so I'll not disappoint you. Stay happy. A is the answer. It is, I usually write this, ipso facto, by the virtue of fact itself. Let's go to question number 12. Go to question number 12 itself, we can be faster. अभिषेक जोशी, रिद्धि नायर, आदर्श साहू, महिमा गुप्ता, संस्कार पाटीदार, हिमांशी, अंश, अनाया, प्रियांशी, कलश, कृतिकाज, Paki and Mitanshu have answered the question, and we see equal number of students marking Bombay as well as Delhi. So the question is, when you talk about 12, Bombay and Delhi, they're both the questions. Now, please understand what is civil contempt. Disobeying the order of the court. Clear है ना? मैंने बताया आपको. अब देखो. Pursuant to a writ petition, the protester at Shaheen Bagh are asked to take protest elsewhere and free the road so as to ensure smooth operation of traffic. सीधी सीधी बात चल रही है कि एक केस हुआ प्रोटेस्टर्स के अगेंस्ट में, उसके परसुएंट एक ऐसा ऑर्डर है जो बोलता है कि आप रोड खाली करके प्रोटेस्ट कहीं और ले जाएं बिकॉज यू आर ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिंग अ कॉमन रोड. The protesters, however, gather again the very next day at the protest site for protesting. So what are they doing? They're doing nothing but disobeying the order of court. And when you say disobeying the order of court, it tantamounts to what? It tantamounts to civil contempt. Answer is Bombay. Delhi, which is in majority, is absolutely wrong. ध्वनित बेटा कैलकाटा कैसे होगा? क्रिमिनल कंटेम्प्ट कैसे हो सकता है? ये नहीं होगा. बैड. ठीक है. So straight away we go to question number 13 on your screen now. Ansh is leading the rally with 13th, saying Delhi is the answer. Ansh, Riddhi Nair, Sanskar Patidar, Kritika, Mahima, Anaya, Abhishek, Diya, Kaushiki, Himanshi. Good going. I'm happy, Riddhi. No, got the energies back, and the speed matters in life, आंसर तो पता है, कौन की इन करे, क्या करना जल्दी करके। ये जो लोग मोह माया से ऐसे मुक्त लोग हैं ना, जो एनर्जी को बहुत लैक करते हैं, जो लेजी होते हैं, दोज हु आर नॉट गो गेटर्स, उन्हें उतना ही मिलता है जितना मेहनत करने वाले छोड़ देते हैं। ठीक है, तो बी ऑन इट, हैव एनर्जीज। ऑलराइट, Dwanit, your inference was blatantly incorrect. Question number 13 at hand. रिया, पारुल, तनेश, शुचि, विष्णुप्रिया, सारे बच्चे बोलते हैं डी दिल्ली होगा आंसर. So I'll not disappoint you. Question is quite simple. This case law, what was the ratio decidendi? With this question, we tried to ensure that you learn the meaning of word called ratio decidendi. वंशिका शर्मा बोल रही है क्रिमिनल कंटेम्प्ट बता दीजिए. बेटा क्रिमिनल कंटेम्प्ट लिखा हुआ है पैसेज में बहुत क्लियरली, इसमें क्या बताने का है. आप कोर्ट के ऑर्डर को डिसोबे करते हैं, सिविल कंटेम्प्ट. आप कोर्ट को डिसरिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग्स को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करते हैं, क्रिमिनल कंटेम्प्ट. चलो डोंट, दिस इज वेयर इट इज गिवन बेटा. आई मीन दिस इज नॉट डन. willful disobedience of any judgment order is civil contempt. Criminal contempt is by words spoken वगैरह वगैरह, by which you lower the authority of court, interfere with judicial proceedings or administration of justice. ठीक है, so I think बेटा समझ में आ गया होगा आपको दोनों का डिफरेंस है ना. So now question number 14 at hand. See, Calcutta is what everybody opines. And you know, this kind of a passage we find in CLAT 2021 as well, where you know at times they would want to ask you about your understanding of passage. A lot of questions which are application based questions got missing here, but yes, such kind of questions, you know, you should be prepared with as well. Every variety, we'll ensure that all the kind of varieties possible, you'll have it. You know, CLAT can bring no surprise is what we should prepare ourselves with. So question number 14 at hand, of course, answer is C, Calcutta. And ये बात गलत है क्योंकि it was the year which was 1961, not 1971. ठीक है, having that point clear, let's go to passage number 3 without investing any further time. मुझे आपसे पूछने का स्कोर तो मैं पूछ लूंगा, डोंट वरी. रेशियो डिसिडेंडा है. हाँ चलो, किसी भी जजमेंट के दो पार्ट होते हैं या दो पार्ट हो सकते हैं. एक होता है ऑबिटर डिक्टा. So this is not the right time to tell you, but again, just for your information. And second is called ratio decidendi. Obiter dicta को OB, observation of the court. रेशियो डिसिडेंडाई में रेशियो रैशनल, डिसिडेंडाई में डिसीजन, रीजनड डिसीजन. तो जो कोर्ट की रीजनिंग थी बिहाइंड द डिसीजन इज कॉल्ड रेशियो डिसिडेंडाई. हमेशा याद रखना, ऑबिटर डिक्टा इज नॉट बाइंडिंग पार्ट ऑफ जजमेंट. डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट में बोलते हैं कि जो जज ने अपने हिसाब से ऑब्जर्वेशन लिख दी वो नॉट बाइंडिंग पार्ट है, उसको बाइंडिंग नहीं होगी, वो अगले जजमेंट्स में उसको फॉलो नहीं किया जाएगा. बट व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट रेशियो डिसिडेंडाई, दैट मींस वो कोर्ट की रीजनिंग है, उस जजमेंट का वो पार्ट जिसमें कोर्ट ने रीजनिंग लिखी हो कि क्यों उन्होंने ऐसा डिसाइड किया, व्हाट्स द लॉ एंड व्हाई इज इट इंटरप्रेटेड दिस वे. So that is binding part of judgment. So to a child who asked me this question, since we were a bit quick on other things, so I thought to save time and tell you again, we'll go ahead. Passage 3 at hand. Now when I talk about passage 3, it's talking about freedom of religion. The freedom of religion is enshrined under Article 25 to 28 of the Constitution. Now, any child who has already read Article 25 to 28 would have been quicker in understanding and interpreting the passage vis-a-vis a child or a student who was trying to interpret everything at given point in time. So therefore, be avid reader, understand things, it helps, right? So again, without wasting any time, चलो परिहार तुम्हें क्लियर हो गया, बहुत खुश हूं मैं इस बात से. चलते हैं, है ना. Let's go to the questions. Question number 15. Everybody unanimously saying D, Delhi. Religious education. which has been provided cannot, of course, of course. D. Delhi is the answer. Everyone is clear, so I need not explain. Religious education cannot be imparted in private. This is wrong. It can be. उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं लिखा है. Religious instructions have been compulsorily to be, again wrong. In private religious institution, presence is compulsory for religious. Not at all. Only D can be inferred. D. Delhi is correct. Let's go to question number 16. Priyanvi Singhai, Anaya Muchal, Riddhi Nair, दीपिका मोहनानी, दिया, हिमांशी, विबोध, प्रशंसा, कृतिका, प्रियान्वी, चंद्रभान, खुशी, आदर्श, कृतिका, श्रिया, आदित्य. ये बच्चे फटाफट आंसर कर रहे हैं आज. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 16, द आंसर इज ए, आगरा. इज इट? सो यू गॉट आगरा, बॉम्बे, कैलकाटा एंड दिल्ली. क्वेश्चन नंबर 16 में हमारे पास आगरा भी आ गया, बॉम्बे भी आ गया, कैलकाटा भी आ गया, दिल्ली भी आ गया. So let's see. 3 children. Now this case is basically, आपकी नॉलेज के लिए बोल रहा हूं, इट्स अ केस विच हैज बीन डिसाइडेड बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट. इट इज बिजॉय इमैनुअल. मैं आपको एक केस थोड़ा समझाता हूं. दिस वाज अ गुड क्वेश्चन. इफ यू आर मेकिंग मिस्टेक, यू ऑट टू हैव मेड. 3 children in a government aided school. तो what is the law given in the passage? कि government aided school में कोई भी religious instructions cannot be imparted. I repeat, गवर्नमेंट एडेड इंस्टीट्यूशंस में रिलीजियस इंस्ट्रक्शंस कैन नॉट बी imparted इज द लॉ ऑफ द लैंड. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दिस 16th क्वेश्चन, 3 children in a government aided school were suspended from school because क्या किया उनने? Because they refused to sing the national anthem, claiming them it's against the tenet of their religious faith. क्वेश्चन ये है कि सरकारी, व्हाट इज द लॉ, कि किसी भी गवर्नमेंट एडेड इंस्टीट्यूशन में या गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन में रिलीजियस इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं दिए जा सकते. दूसरी बात क्या है? एवरी पर्सन इज हैविंग फ्रीडम टू प्रैक्टिस, प्रोफेस एंड प्रोपोगेट द रिलीजन ऑफ चॉइस. 3 बच्चे बोलते हैं कि हम नेशनल एंथम का डिसरिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कहीं नहीं लिखा. उनने बोला हम नेशनल एंथम गाएंगे नहीं. हम इसलिए नहीं गाएंगे क्योंकि हमारा जो रिलीजियस टेनेट है, जो हमारी रिलीजियस फेथ है, वो उसकी परमिशन नहीं देती. ठीक है. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट नेशनल एंथम, दे से दैट आवर रिलीजियस फेथ डज नॉट अलाउ दिस. तो हमें देखना है क्या रिलीजन, फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन एब्सोल्यूट है? आंसर है नहीं. फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन इज ऑल्सो सब्जेक्ट टू रीजनेबल रेस्ट्रिक्शंस. लेट्स गो टू द पैसेज एंड अंडरस्टैंड. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन is subject to certain restrictions as provided in the constitution. Here they say these restrictions can be on the grounds of public order. बच्चे नेशनल एंथम नहीं गा रहे तो पब्लिक ऑर्डर हो रहा है क्या? नहीं. मोरालिटी में फर्क हो रहा है क्या? नहीं. हेल्थ में हो रहा है? नहीं. सोशल वेलफेयर में हो रहा है? नहीं. रिफॉर्म? नहीं. तो फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन उन तीनों बच्चों के पास है. इनमें से कोई भी ग्राउंड ऐसा नहीं है जिसके कारण उनकी फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन को रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया जा सके. सो द क्वेश्चन इज 3 children, those who were not singing, right? 3 children who were not singing the national anthem, saying that it is against the tenet of their religious faith, are within their rights. Not singing not singing national anthem does not amount to anything wrong which is done by the students. Question is suspension उनका किया, was it valid? Answer is no. मैंने आपको ये क्यों बता दिया? Because it is, again, ये क्वेश्चन तो सॉल्व हो गया, बट फॉर योर नॉलेज एज वेल, क्यों क्लैट डिसाइडेड केसेस से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन बनाता है. तो बिजॉय इमैनुअल केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी ऐसे ही बोला था एंड फैक्ट्स वर सिमिलर. राइट, लेट्स गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 17. विष्णुप्रिया, मानवी, रिया, ऋषिका, आदर्श, अनाया, अभिषेक, कृतिका, महिमा, everybody banging for C Calcutta. So when everyone is very clear with it, I don't take much time explaining. Now क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 ये है कि कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस ने एक ऑर्डर दिया है कि कोई भी ऐसी असेंबली जहां 5 से ज्यादा लोग होंगे वो कुछ भी ऐसा आर्टिकल नहीं कैरी करेंगे. कौन सा? वेपन ऑफ ऑफेंस, likely to disrupt public order, example swords, skulls, firearm वगैरह वगैरह. Now this is for what? This is again freedom of religion. यहां पे एक रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन है जिसका नाम है मोक्ष मार्ग, है ना। एक ऐसी रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन है जिनका धर्म है, जिनका नाम है मोक्ष मार्ग। तो मोक्ष मार्ग के लोग तांडव कर रहे हैं रोड पर, त्रिशूल हाथ में उनके, और साथ ही साथ देयर इज एन ऑर्डर फ्रॉम द कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस। अब मोक्ष मार्ग के फॉलोअर्स का कहना है ये हमारी रिलीजियस फ्रीडम है, बिकॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन गिव्स अस अ फंडामेंटल राइट टू प्रैक्टिस प्रोफेस एंड प्रोपगेट द रिलीजन ऑफ चॉइस है। पर क्वेश्चन है, क्या ऐसी रिलीजियस फ्रीडम एब्सोल्यूट है? नहीं। कैन इट बी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड? यस। तो इनकी फ्रीडम कहां रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो रही है? इनकी फ्रीडम रिस्ट्रिक्ट होती है अंडर द पब्लिक ऑर्डर, मोरालिटी, डिसेंसी, जो मैंने आपको रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस के ग्राउंड बताए थे, जहां पब्लिक ऑर्डर इज द रीजन जहां पे फ्रीडम को रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया जा सकता है। तो चिल्ड्रन मार्किंग क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 विद एन ऑप्शन कैलकाटा आर freedom is not infringed because it was restricted on the grounds of public order is the correct answer. You nailed it. Question number 18, when I talk about secularism. Question number 18, to follow every religion and to worship every god. Nonsense. This is not what secularism as prescribed is. To follow every religion, come on. Is it what secularism means? People marking 18 ka answer A. Blatantly incorrect. You did not even understand the spirit of the passage. It clearly means separation of religion from the state power. It's B, Bombay. The answer, people marking 18A are not correct. They are blatantly incorrect. Wrong answer. Bad miss. Let's go to question number 19. Bhagat. Jaldi. Question number 19. If I can have prompt answers from you. Kunal Fattar, 18 का आंसर A. पढ़ा भी नहीं था कि every god. Come on. Question number 19. There's a child, Anaya, Ankul, Riddhi, Riya, Ansh, Sanskar, योगेंद्र, महिमा और सारे बच्चे बोल रहे हैं कैलकाटा। दो बच्चे महिमा और चंद्रभान बोल रहे हैं बॉम्बे। दीक्षा बोल रही है ए। तो ए बी सी तीनों ऑप्शन हमारे पास आ चुके हैं, ए बी एंड सी। सो व्हेन आई सी क्वेश्चन नंबर 19, वी हैव ऑल द थ्री ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल। मेजॉरिटी गोज फॉर सी, a lot saying B, Bombay as well. Let's see. A religious denomination encroached. Encroached का मतलब क्या होता है? आपके पास लीगल राइट नहीं है फिर भी आप चले गए। उनने एनक्रोचमेंट किया, टेंपल बना लिया। टेंपल बनाने के बाद उसमें पूजा पाठ करने लगे। सरकार ने बोला ये आपकी जमीन नहीं है, आप यहां से टेंपल हटाइए क्योंकि आपने इलीगली किसी जमीन पे कब्जा कर लिया है। Now, before I answer this question, I will again want to take you to the passage. Just try to understand where it was given and what it was given. Every religious denomination has a right to establish and maintain institutions for religious charitable purpose and to manage its own religion and to, ये है हमारे काम की बात, acquire, own and administer both movable and immovable property, and this is it in accordance with law. इलीगली आप जमीन को एनक्रोच करके उस पर मंदिर बना देंगे, बोलेंगे रिलीजियस फ्रीडम है, तो चलेगा क्या? आंसर है नहीं चलेगा। Therefore, the answer to question number 17 is C. The answer to question number 19 stands C, Calcutta. ठीक है, 19th का आंसर हो जाएगा C, Calcutta, because they have illegally done that act and it was an encroachment. All right. Now going to question number 20 at hand, I see Diya, Abhishek, Riddhi, Yogendra, Himanshi, Anaya, Parul and Adarsh answering it. The quickest people answering me question 20. A few students have marked Bombay. Rest others are good with Agra. So we need to see where should I settle you. Should I settle you for Agra or Bombay? I'll say both are wrong. I want you to go to Bangalore. Huh? So for this question at least, you know, Bangalore is not the choice. For this you need to go to Ahmedabad, GNLU, Gujarat जा रहे हो आप, ठीक है? It's A. C, understand, Runit made a complaint to Pollution Control Board of this area where the prayers. अब देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे एक आपकी जो फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन है, क्वेश्चन है क्या वो रिलीजियस फ्रीडम एब्सोल्यूट है? नहीं। क्वेश्चन क्या है, एक चर्च है, चर्च में बहुत जोर से गाने बजते हैं, ड्रम्स बजते हैं, लाउड स्पीकर बजते हैं, नॉइज होता है और ये कहां पर है? रेसिडेंशियल एरिया में है और उस कॉलोनी के लोग बहुत परेशान हो रहे हैं। क्वेश्चन है, क्या फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन एब्सोल्यूट है? नहीं, पब्लिक ऑर्डर वो अफेक्ट हो रहा है. So the question is, in this case, it causes nuisance, and this is why when I talk about question number 20, answer is without an iota of doubt, Agra. People, those who are saying Bombay, look at it. The court cannot issue direction against church because it's their right to practice, subject to restrictions, subject to reasonable restriction. आपका freedom of religion absolute नहीं है बेटा, ठीक है? The court can, this is extraneous, this is not possible. A, Agra is the only possible answer. Let's go to question number 21. When I ask 21, उसके बाद जितने option देखेंगे, I'll read out. So we have Shriya, we have Priyanshi, we have Mitanshu, Vishnupriya saying question number 21, A, Agra is correct option. Abhishek saying C, Calcutta being the correct option. Which of the following is true? Secularism ensures that no one is discriminated on the basis of, exactly. Only citizen of India have right to freedom to practice वगैरह वगैरह. No. The freedom of religion can be granted on Indian constitution implies that Indian citizens are free to have faith in a religion extraneous. Answer is A, Agra. When it comes to 21, answer is A, Agra. All of the above जो लिख रहे हैं, they are blatantly incorrect. स्टेट रिलीजन का तो कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है ना. नो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टेट रिलीजन. जो बच्चे डेली मार्क कर रहे हैं, यहां स्टेट रिलीजन का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. ओनली सिटीजन्स, नो इवन नॉन सिटीजन्स. वहां पर्सन लिखा है. ओनली ए इज द आंसर. ए. बी इज रॉन्ग, सी इज रॉन्ग, डी इज डेफिनेटली रॉन्ग. Going to question number 22. Question number 22. There are 4 statements. Which of them are not included? Second is not included. Fourth is not included. Answer is D, Delhi. Use of fund of the government for promotion, इसलिए ये गलत है. Imparting religious instruction in any government maintained institution, not imparting होना चाहिए, इसलिए गलत है. इसमें से पूछा not included, 2 and 4 are not included. D, Delhi is the answer. Let's go to the next passage. Passage 4. Passage 4 is about an NGO and Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, FCRA norms. सीधी सीधी बात है, एनजीओज भारत में बहुत सारा पैसा फॉरेन से फंडिंग करके ले रहे थे और कई बार ऐसी एलिगेशंस थे कि इन एनजीओज ने उस पैसे को इलीगल अनलॉफुल पर्पसेस के लिए यूज किया है और जो फॉरेन एजेंसीज फंड कर रही थी, दोज एजेंसीज कुड नॉट बी ट्रैक्ड. दिस इज व्हाई देयर वर सर्टेन amendments made to these FCRA norms, which is given here. The idea to have these norms was to ensure a greater level of transparency. Now, everybody who's answering, kudos to you, no issues. I will come and I'll ask question and then I'll be, entertaining your answers. The important thing is you need to understand the crux of the passage. I'll say for this passage, please reread. Understand it well. If you are in haste, so let's take questions. I mean, that's okay. समझना नहीं है, क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 23. क्वेश्चन नंबर 23. संस्कार पाटीदार, तिशा अग्रवाल, योगेंद्र कौरव, प्रियांशी मुकाती, अनाया मुछाल, पाखी जैन, इन बच्चों ने आंसर किया है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 23 की बात देखें, तनिष्क, भव्या. तो आंसर, क्वेश्चन इज, विधान इज अ मेंबर ऑफ एनजीओ established in this in 2009. रजिस्ट्रेशन हुआ. द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट शोड अ टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर ऑफ 20 lakhs. उन्हें कितना चाहिए था? टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर ऑफ 15 lakhs, आउट ऑफ विच ओनली 20% कुड बी स्पेंट. तो दिस इज वाई क्वेश्चन ये है दैट इन दिस केस क्या रजिस्ट्रेशन हो सकता है? आंसर इज रजिस्ट्रेशन इज नॉट पॉसिबल. दैट मीन्स registration is not possible. Therefore, the right answer should be C, Calcutta. ठीक है, ये आप पढ़ लीजिए. Passage clearly mentions that the NGO has to spend at least 15 lakhs in 3 years on activities for which NGO is registered. मतलब सोशल वेलफेयर वाली चीजों में उन्हें 15 लाख रुपए खर्च करने चाहिए थे. ठीक है. ओनली 14 लाख कोर एक्टिविटी पे हुआ, होने 15 चाहिए थे, इसलिए इट बिकम्स अ ग्राउंड फॉर नॉट गिविंग रजिस्ट्रेशन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 24. हिमांशी, महिमा, भव्या, विधि, आदित्य चतुर्वेदी, प्रशंसा, रिया, Kaushiki, Parul, Yogendra, they are answering this thing. Again, D. Delhi seems right for question number 24. Let's look at question number 4. Runit Rathore says B. Bombay. So Runit comes with a deviation. Rest everybody is keen on Delhi. Well, Runit has a Bangalore love. So let's see question number 24. Which of the following is correct according to the information given in the passage? Now, by disclosures of Aadhaar numbers, FCRA rules, which of them is correct according to the information given in passage? Question number 24. सही बात है. The registration under the act will open the way of accepting. सही बात है. आप तभी फॉरेन पैसा ले सकते हो जब आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाए. सेक्शन 12(4) ऑफ द एक्ट लेड डाउन सर्टेन कंडीशंस फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन. सही बात है. जब ए और बी और सी सब सही है तो क्वेश्चन हो जाएगा, आंसर हो जाएगा डी दिल्ली. तो रोनित, आपने ए और सी नहीं पढ़ा बेटा, वो भी सही था. क्वेश्चन नंबर 24. हंसराज चौहान, बेटा Delhi, not Agra, because B and C are also correct. Question number 25. Question number 25, we can quickly have. All right. Sanskar, Riddhi, Vidhi, Priyanshi. Priyanshi has written a message, huh? No, when you are in haste, I am faster. Don't worry. Question number 24, 25, Delhi and Agra. Uh, there's a doubt that children are having D or A. Let's see. Vidhan is the managing head of an NGO called Udan, working in Indore. Vidhan has also many businesses established outside India. क्वेश्चन है विधान का एक एनजीओ है. क्वेश्चन में है एनजीओ किसका है? विधान का. बिजनेस विधान के इंडिया के बाहर भी है एंड विधान इज अ यूएस सिटीजन. अब विधान owned a mobile manufacturing unit in America named XYZ, which is in profits. Who offered? XYZ Limited nahi. Vidhan offered 10 lakh rupees donation to Udan NGO for social works from profit earned. Udan was registered and also had spent 15 lakhs in last 3 years. तो सेक्शन 12(4)(b) वाली जो बात थी वो सारी पूरी हो गई. Whether Udan NGO can accept foreign donation or not. Now for that I'll again take you to passage before answering. Let's look at this thing here. In case of a foreign donor organization being single individual, यहाँ पे विधान single individual है, that individual shall not be the chief functionary or office bearer in the recipient group. Recipient group कौन सा है? उड़ान. तो उड़ान को भी कौन देख रहा है? विधान. डोनेशन जो दे रहा है सिंगल इंडिविजुअल, वो भी विधान. तो इन दिस केस ऐसा नहीं किया जा सकता. सच डोनेशन कैन नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड. दैट्स द लाइन ऑफ रीजनिंग फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 25. लेट्स गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 26 क्विकली. Buck up, everybody. Question number 26. Buck up, champs. Question number 26. Sanskar Patidar, Riddhi Nair, Riya Patidar, Anaya Muchal, Himanshi, Abhishek Joshi, Tanish Singhania, मितांशु मित्तल, विधि शर्मा, ये सारे बच्चे आंसर दे रहे हैं सी, डी और बी. बी, सी, डी. So B, C, D is probably coming out as options. According to the author of the passage, which of the following cannot be inferred. मतलब ये में से कौन से गलत इन्फरेंसेस हैं? ठीक है. और चिल्ड्रन बोले बी, सी, डी तीनों गलत हैं. पढ़ते हैं. The office bearers of an NGO are also accountable and therefore they have to submit commitment letter. Of course, the rules issued by government made registration mandatory and have brought down the office expenses. Correct. Vidhan, an election candidate cannot accept foreign funding for his NGO. Correct. Or none of the above. All are correct. All are correct. They all can be inferred. Question number 26, answer should be Delhi. Yes, it is. Let's go to the last passage of the day. Aditya Gandhi, long time. Good. Mosina, good. Joined late. Chalo. Now, this passage, this was a very small passage given to you about agreement with minor. What are the conditions? What would be the expected outcome of the agreement with minor? And then here it's written that in a case, the case where this minor, that's based on the facts of Mohri Bibi case basically. So a minor whose guardians were out, he has already ensured that he mortgaged his house and he received some money. The question is, will such agreement be valid? Question में यही लिखा है, agreement entered with minor is void ab initio. ठीक है, agreement entered into with minor is void ab initio. अगर वो clarity है, so let's quickly go into the question. Question number 27, answer is C, Calcutta. The money lender recover कर सकता है, he can, जब तक मनी ट्रेसेबल, उसमें लिखा हुआ है, पैसेज में लिखा हुआ है, अगर आपने माइनर के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वॉइड है, अग्रीमेंट वॉइड है, इट कैन नॉट बी इन्फोर्स्ड. क्या हो सकता है? अगर आपकी पैसे ट्रेसेबल है तो उसे वापस लिया जा सकता है. बस दैट्स ऑल, तभी रिकवर कर सकते हैं. लेट्स गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 28. The supposed minor can argue that the sale is valid if. Question number 28, easy answer. Come on, buck up everybody. Question number 28. जल्दी करेंगे. रियाज, संस्कार, प्रियांशी, योगेंद्र, रिद्धि, अनाया, कौशिकी, प्रशंसा, श्रिया, दिया, ये सारे बच्चे बोल रहे हैं that they are in love with Delhi. So of course I'll send you there. Abhishek, wrong choice with Calcutta. Delhi is the answer. Sale तभी valid होगी जब एक ही केस है, जब वो प्रूव कर दे कि वो माइनर नहीं था. तो आंसर इज डेली एंड नो अदर ऑप्शन पॉसिबल. लेट्स क्विकली गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 29. क्वेश्चन नंबर 29. गुड गोइंग मोसिना, आदित्य, पारोल एज वेल. गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 29 इफ पॉसिबल. ऋषिका, यू गॉट स्लो बेटा, बग अप. क्वेश्चन नंबर 29, इट्स सी. कृतिका, आदर्श, ध्वनित, रिद्धि, कृतिका, अगेन दे ऑल आर सी. बेटा, बिकॉज अग्रीमेंट एंटर्ड विद माइनर विल ऑलवेज बी वॉइड. योगेंद्र कौरव, इसलिए आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड रीजन, लिखा हुआ है पैसेज में, अच्छे से पढ़ना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 29, the minor has already spent all the money. Should the money lender be allowed to recover? Answer is of course no, without an iota of doubt. C, Calcutta is the answer. This was the penultimate question. Now going ahead for the ultimate question of the day, question number 30. फटाफट बताएं, उसके बाद आपके स्कोर्स पूछे जाएंगे, है ना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 30, जल्दी बताएं. समता, जल्दी से रिप्लाई किया करो बेटा. भव्या मित्तल बोलती हैं कैलकटा, अंश बोलते हैं दिल्ली, संस्कार बोलते हैं कैलकटा, खुशी बोलती हैं दिल्ली, केशव बोलते हैं कैलकटा, श्रेया बोलती हैं कैलकटा, कलश बोलते हैं दिल्ली, रिया चोपड़ा बोलती हैं कैलकटा, मानवी बोलती हैं दिल्ली, रिया पाटीदार कैलकटा. तो कैलकटा, दिल्ली, दिल्ली, कैलकटा, और इतने में मितांशु ने बॉम्बे भी बोल दिया. Which of the following statements is correct in the light of the passage and the facts given about the minor's transaction with the money lender in the passage? The money lender, which of the statement is correct? पूछा. The money lender will recover all the money because he did not have the required mens rea. Is this correct? No, it is incorrect. The money lender can acquire permission of the guardian and make contract valid retroactively. No, it's extraneous if we see so. The money lender entered into a contract with minor and cannot be allowed to benefit from the transaction. True. Seemingly yes. Though the transaction with minor was without permission of the guardian, it was found that for survival of minor, the money lender should be allowed. Come on. What is he doing? He is mortgaging. Mortgaging house. No. C, Calcutta is the answer. Only possible answer. ध्वनित B कैसे हो सकता है? Come on, buck up. कुछ भी. That's all from my end. Lovely is your patience. Great going. If you can continue and maintain this tempo in the upcoming days as well, I think good things will happen, and good things will happen only with people who believes that nothing in this world works like work. Quickly, if I can have all your scores on board. आदर्श साहू गुड गोइंग बेटा, जबरदस्त। आदित्य चतुर्वेदी गुड गोइंग। नंदिनी नायक और अच्छा हो सकता है। वनीशा बेटा कम है, अच्छा हो सकता है। पाखी डिसेंट। मानस और अच्छा हो सकता है बेटा। रिद्धि अच्छा करो। मितांशु पुअर, मेहनत करो ज्यादा। यशस्वी ठीक है, डिसेंट, 2 मार्क्स ज्यादा करने चाहिए थे। भव्य मित्तल फैंटास्टिक। रुनित कम है। विकास डिसेंट। वगीशा गुड। अनाया कम है और अच्छा हो सकता है। वंडरफुल गोइंग एवरीबॉडी। केशव शर्मा मेहनत ज्यादा करनी है। सो दैट इज टेक्निकली फ्रॉम माय एंड। प्लीज कीप होनिंग योर क्लैटिट्यूड विद क्लैट T20 विदिज्ञ प्रीमियर लीग। विद एवरी पासिंग डे गो बेटर, डू बेटर, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू कम योर वे। मेहनत करते रहो, समय को बहुत अच्छे से यूटिलाइज करो, और हाँ बाकी सब चलता रहे, जी के जरूर पढ़ते रहना। That's all from my end. Stay happy, stay energetic, and stay logical with Vidhigya, your best parent that traps, and forget not, क्या जीतना तो हमें ही है ना? लग के करो मेहनत। ऑल द बेस्ट।